This is a message for anyone who's on the job search in 2025. If you can save this video or please share it with someone who's on the job search, I think they really need to hear this.
Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lumi. Today we're going to be looking at why Gen Z thinks the job market is broken in 2025. Now before we get started, make sure to hit the like button. It would really mean a lot to me.
It is not a you problem. Like, you can literally do everything right. You can have the perfect resume that looks good, that passes the ATS, that recruiters get excited about and they call you back on.
Oh, quick context before I let him continue. If you're not aware, ATS, what that is, the definition is applicant tracking system. It's a software for recruiters and employers to track candidates throughout the recruiting and hiring process. I just wanted to put that out there because maybe not everyone is familiar with the term. Also, often these systems utilize AI, so it's believe me, it's pretty annoying having to deal with AI and robots basically before you're even put in front of a living, breathing human being in the job search process. A lot of it is just like, do you know how to trick the system? Basically, like, do you know what keywords to use? Like, you can be the best candidate for the job, and now I'm ranting here, but I'll make this quick. You can be the best candidate for the job, right? But if your resume isn't tailored to make the ATS happy, they just won't look at you. They won't push you through. Like, no human eyes will be put on your resume because you failed the ATS's like check boxes and its screening process. It's really annoying, but that's just the world we live in today. But anyway, moving on.
You can answer every single question in an interview the right way. You can show up to the interview with the right questions. You can ace the personality test, the cognitive test. You can pass each round of the interview with flying colors. And then you can get to the end. You can get to the final interview. And you're probably up against 3 or 4 other really, really qualified people. And at the end of the day, they just end up going with someone else. And for some of you, this is happening. In fact, for a lot of you, this is happening. You're getting right to the final round of interviews and you're not landing the job. And I just need you to know that it is not a you problem. Like, you are literally doing everything right. You can do everything right in this job market and still not get the job. That's how competitive the 2025 job market is. And you just need to know, number one, you're not alone. And number two, it is not a you problem. It is a job market problem. Please share this video with someone who needs to hear it today.
It's so sad. Like, this is where we are at this point in time. Like, the 2025 job market is absolutely cooked. It is a market built for the employers, meaning that they have all the leverage right now. They know that jobs are scarce. Good jobs, I mean. Like, despite what the government is saying, when they release the job reports, they'll say like, oh, we added like 100,000 jobs this quarter, or blah, blah, blah. Like, they try to fluff it up and make it seem better than it actually is. When in reality, the jobs added are like these, they're not great jobs. They're low-paying jobs, or they're jobs that like, they look like they're for everyone on paper, but really they're just going to do some like internal hiring. I've seen that happen so often that honestly, it should be criminal. Because when you post a job for everyone to see, everyone should have equal opportunity to land that job, right? But often what happens is that these employers will use this as a sort of like a manipulation tactic to either scare their current employees into thinking that they're being replaced, so they'll work harder or work better, or they actually just want to promote someone internally. That's really what it boils down to. And I'm sick and tired of these companies getting away with these terrible business practices that just hurt more people than, than they help. Like, I'm all for people getting promotions and getting paid better, but when you do it in such a way that feels so disingenuous, and it wastes a lot of people's time. Think about all the time that wastes for people who are looking for a job. Because when you apply to a job, unless it's on LinkedIn with like the easy apply button where it's literally just one click, or like, well, typically it's not one click. Typically the easy apply button is like you click it and then you answer several questions, but it's a lot easier than having to go onto the employer's website, using their portal, signing up, uploading your resume, and then basically repeating what is already on your resume in their system, in their questionnaire. It's such an annoying process, guys. Like, I'm sure everyone here who has clicked on this video can relate in some way, shape, or form. But it is just, man, it is brutal today. Like, let me tell you, like 5 years ago, like pre-pandemic, this stuff was not this hard. Like, it feels like there was a real shift that happened maybe in the past like couple years or 3 years, where, I mean, I know what it is. It's whenever the economy is being tightened, this stuff, like the job market gets affected. And right now, with the way interest rates are, companies don't want to take the risk. They don't want to take the unnecessary risks in hiring people, because one of the biggest costs for companies are employees. So it's like this it's this domino effect that we all feel. But anyway, let's take a look at the next one.
I'm not one to complain about the job market, but it is looking rough right now. So I'm gonna put you on game that I put myself on years ago. Okay, so years ago I did this research, right? I'm like, how do people get jobs? But anyways, I did the research. One of the research that caught my attention was where people who wear glasses are more likely to get a job. So I I don't know what the psychology behind it is. I still don't understand. Okay, it does make people look smarter, and I guess people who wear glasses are more likely to get hired. So I'm so sorry, okay? If you're blind out there, I love you, okay? You are loved. I love you. Anyways, so years ago, I popped one of these, and I was having a hard time finding a job, so I popped one of these, okay? I got this from Shein. I don't know why I'm talking the way I am, but anyways, so I got these from Shein, popped one of these, and it was a high-paying job. And mind you, like the whole time during the interview, I was doing like all this like thing that glass-wearing people do. I'm like trying to do all this like serious stuff, like and that too. I'm like pushing it like this. And locked her in. My battery was dying, but like I locked her in. It was a high-paying job, and now I'm gonna test her out next week, because like I have a couple interviews, and I'm gonna let you know how it goes, okay?
I had to throw a funny one in here. She has a great point. A lot of like what is going on in the face-to-face interview process, it's all psychological, or like a good part of it is psychological. So like in her case, she's arguing, and I think she makes a pretty good point, that if you wear glasses, you're automatically considered somewhat like more intelligent than the average person, because psychologically speaking, we associate people who wear glasses with intelligence. It's not always the case, but that's the way it is. So I think it's honestly, it's a good tactic. And I love how she was like, she drew attention to it. Like, she was fixing her glasses. She was like, adjusting them, bringing a lot of attention to them, so that the interviewer's like subconscious is triggered on it. I think it's honestly genius. I hope she gets the job. I kind of want to like follow up and see like where she's at with this. But yeah, I mean, this just goes to show that like the interview process, like when you are put in front of someone and you're speaking to them face to face, you really have to use a lot of these psychological tricks. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, you got to be like malicious about it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that like a lot of it is, it's not about what you have done or what you can do. A lot of it is like Does the person across the table from you, can they relate to you? Are you likable? And do you seem competent enough for the job? That's basically what it boils down to. But more often than not, even if you are competent but you come off as like kind of a jerk, they won't hire you because of that. Because they're like, well, why would I want to work with a jerk? You know, people don't like difficult people. Like, and man, I feel like I kind of fell into this trap where I was pretty confident about my abilities when I was looking for a job, and maybe I came off as like a know-it-all, or I was way too overconfident about my abilities. But yeah, I think that may have affected me negatively, because the people who were interviewing me, who would have been my team lead, may have been like, well, I don't want to work with him. He might be coming for my job next, or he might be too difficult to work with. Like, you got to really think about all these things. All of these things like come into play. It's just a human part. It's like the human factor, right? All these things come into play in the hiring process. And yeah, I mean, when you're looking for a job, and I hate that this is a part of it, but you really have to be like, please, sir or madam, like, give me a job, please. Like, you really you really have to be like this subordinate. You have to embody the subordinate mindset, and it's hard to do that, especially if you're someone who, they want more for themselves. They come off as maybe a little too confident. People get intimidated by that. So you really have to be like this kind of like, I don't know, perfect, ideologically speaking, like perfect employee. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this one's getting kind of long, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of it. Please give me a like down below. Dislike it if you dislike it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you guys having any trouble finding a job this year? I know I have. I've pretty much given up at this point, but and as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It would help me and the channel go a long way. But anyway, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Later.